Hail, double 1/8 set Shadow here. We're a week into the release of Gods of the Arcana, and I gotta say, as far as this game has been really affordable, this game just gets more and more affordable as we keep going sets, and I think despite being the second anniversary set, it's just so easy to pick up a lot of cards in this set. Pricing wise, there's only one really big chase card, which I'm going to go over in a second. Otherwise, it's really been very easy in terms of singles pricing. There are maybe one or two other risks, but we'll go over that as well. So the first card is the highly anticipated, most anticipated, big number 21, Zelganina the World. And Zelganina, Oh Great World, one of the new Arcana cards that also features the new Advanced method of play. So Advanced cards are cards that you put into the Evolved deck, and then by some means of play, you're able to put them into your EX area, and then you use them from there. In the case of Oh Great World, you would pay 10 points while the world is in your graveyard, and then the Great World would go into your EX area, and while it's in your EX area, it just constantly deals 4 damage to the enemy leader and followers. Then when you play it, it just deals an outright 10 damage. So, the regular version of the world is not difficult to pick up at all. Less than $10. The lowest listing is currently just above 7 with 24 listings on the market, and the market price is almost 9. If you want the super legendary, that's currently at $14 at its lowest with a market price closer to 20. The one that's going to be difficult to get though is Oh Great World, the advanced version. You would think, given that you probably only need to play 1 or 2 copies of this at best, that this would actually be pretty cheap, but apparently it's not. Oh Great World's lowest listing is $43 with a market price of about 48. And the super legendary is not too far away from that. It's $53 with a market price of almost 56.50. So the thing about the advanced cards is that the advanced cards are 1 to 2 per case. The anticipation is that players will only need 1 or 2 of these, so you don't need to pick up so many copies. So you would think that the price would be down, but the price is up. And that is mainly because if players want to play multiple decks that keep on utilizing these, and they don't want to keep switching them between decks, which honestly shouldn't be too difficult given it goes in the Evo deck, it gets expensive after some time. You also have the ultimate version of the world, which is a waifuified version of the card, at almost $140. This weekend was also the Grand Showdown, which features an alternate art of Oh Great World, which we have no copies on the market right now. And because of the second anniversary, this card also has an anniversary rare, which has no listings right now. I believe there should only be one in the world, unless it's 1 through 10 and then they're all marked. But yeah, I'm not too sure about that one, but so far I have not seen this card pop up anywhere else either. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. The other Arcana cards that come in this set also don't really have a lot going for them in value. And when you consider something like number 6, Milteo the Lovers, the legendary for this one's about $4, and then the Evo is just about $3. The super legendaries are also not that high. $5 for the regular one and about $4 for the Evo version. It has an ultimate rare, which is not for the Evo, but for the regular one, which is atypical of a card that gets an ultimate, because it's usually the Evo that gets the ultimate. In this case, it's the regular one, and it's about $51 to pick up. There's an anniversary rare for this one as well, but not on the market. I believe this one has been pulled? Not sure. There are multiple advanced variants of Levantine Dragon. We have its Alpha, Beta, and I keep forgetting if that's Gamma or Epsilon. But basically, the Gamma Epsilon version is the most popular, And this one is actually close to is really close to buyout status here. The market price on that one is about $12.50, and then the base listing on it is now $20, and it's only got 2 listings. If you want the super legendary version of it, it's got 16 listings on the market for about 22, so it's only a little bit higher if you do need to pick this up. The other forms, Alpha is pretty cheap at about $4, and then the Super Legendary is also about $4, barely any higher. The beta version is $5 at its lowest, and then about $9 for the Super Legendary. The original Levantine Dragon from set 3 is currently $19 at its lowest with 3 listings. The market price on this has been climbing for some time. It's now about $13.50, and the listings range from $9 to $30 when you consider shipping and handling. All the recent sales that we've seen throughout the month of June have moved from $12 all the way to $15 on this card. Masquerade Ghost also got an advanced version with set 10. And when we look back at the originals from set 3, it's $5 to pick up the regular one, and the Evo is currently around $2. The advanced version that comes from set 10 is $10 right now, and the Super Legendary is a little cheaper at $7.50. It has less listings, which is to be expected. The Super Legendaries of the original from set 3, $14 for the regular one, and about $7.50 for the Evo. Market prices on those are both around $5. And now to take a look at where some of these leader cards are that were part of the campaign for our 2nd anniversary. Galmew is out of stock and is now about $220. I was talking about Fennel on the release weekend, saying that this one was undervalued for what it was, based off what I saw in Japan. This one is out of stock right now at $133 market price. I thought Orchis was going to be the highest in terms of its overall value, but it looks like it's been beaten out by Octris. Octris has sold for 380 plus so far, and Orchis has a market price of 350 with one listing on the market. Lishena's around the same price at its lowest listing, but the market price there is 324. Aina's out of stock at $130. Marwin is also up here. It's got a market price of 65 and its lowest is currently 63. You also have Valneric, the 7th Omen, which has a market price of 300 and 360 is the lowest. Izudia, the 6th Omen, is actually up here at a market price of 100, and 105 is its current low. If we keep looking lower, I think I can find some of the others. Rulnai hasn't sold yet and is 160. Marcotte, Heritil Celebrant, 130 at its lowest, and no sales yet. Other ones include Momo, a new adventure from Swordcraft at 145, and Melna, Princess of Munmarth at 80. And poor Rao still doesn't have a single sale at $44 at its lowest. Quan is not one to be overlooked despite its low price point right now. It's about $6 to pick up for its legendary and just around $17 to pick up the super legendary. There are no prize card variants of this card on the market right now, and the ultimate rare has been bought out to the point of 195, but a market price of about 87. While Quan doesn't really have any meta relevance right now, it has some meta relevance later on as we go. Rulnai, we were just talking about its leader card, and I wanted to see where the card is sitting. So, when you take a look at its regular legendaries, this is from set 5, about $17.50 to pick up the base form and $10 to pick up the Evo right now. Super Legendary wise, it's $80 at its lowest on the Super Legendary, but a market price of about $47.50. The Evo Super Legendary is above 20. It's close to $21.50 and a market price of about 22. So Rulnai is still up there in value, but I don't see it seeing a lot of more consistent play down the line. It seems control variants of Abysscraft tend to lean towards more fanfare, more consistent fanfare, I think, with Nephthys later. But ultimately, the card is still up there, and until we start getting some of these other cards, it's still a viable option. Sybil of the Water Worm, which is from set 4. This is a Dragoncraft card that supports ramp and also provides healing. Well, considering the world is likely to play best with ramp, I wanted to revisit this card as a potential option, since that also ramps you as you go along. It's cheap, $1.50 to pick up. It's a legendary card. Market price is about $2.50. And then the super legendary is at about $10. Market price is also around the same point. It also has a leader card that you can pick up from set 6, which has not been that expensive, but it's still pricey. $33 to pick this up. Market price is about $32. Another call out on Diamond Master. The card is still cheap to pick up for its regular legendaries. It's about 50 cents at its lowest and $1 for the Evo. But the super legendaries are getting bought out. There are only 2 listings on the super legendary for the base form starting from 10, and the market price for that is now $7. As for the Evo, the super legendary's got 9 listings at about $6.50. $6.30 right now with a market price of about $5. Set 1 legendaries have topped off around $10 now, with everything really beginning to sink. Forte is now the most expensive of the legendaries from set 1 at $10 at the lowest with 16 listings. The market price on this one has actually been on a rise, but as of the last 2 months it's kind of stalled. It's $14.50-ish for its market price, and we have a lot of listings that are $10 to $11 to even $12 on this card. However, Merlin, which I thought was going to maintain the highest rating and highest value of all the legendaries, turns out, nope, it got beat by Forte. $5.94 for the lowest, so $6. The market price has dropped. It's now $10 market price, and the whole front page is under $10 for this card. Merlin has fallen out quite significantly, far more than I was anticipating, and is now very easy to grab. Spartacus's Ultimate Rare has been seeing a slow buyout with 5 listings on the market, and even as I say that, the base listing is still just in the $50 range for an Ultimate Rare, but when you take a look at the sales that we've been seeing, we had a lot of $31+ listings that are now just off the market. And when we take a look at overall value, it's, 56, then it jumps all the way to 75, and then beyond that. Spartacus shouldn't be underestimated. It is an alt win con, and if you're able to drag the game out, it just wins you the game outright. The Evo of Crimson Rose Queen is down to 1 listing on the market at about $11. And the market price has increased to $14.50-ish, with listings having moved more recently around the $12 mark. And previously in the last month, we also saw them move for 15s. Aether of the Warrior Wing is also higher up in value now. The market price on this one is almost $13. A huge climb from $2 3 months ago. And now you can't pick this up for any lower than about $24. And then there's Colorful Cook from set 7, which has a low value right now of about $2.30 and 11 listings on the market. The market price has dropped off on this one. Granted, when you take a look at its actual sales, it's been moving for about $1.25 more often than most other prices. It did see some $2 sales a little while back, but it's down in value. However, still be careful. We will be getting newer support later for Natura, so that could revitalize demand on this card later. It does have a promo version, though, so that's something it'll be competing against. And that's all for today. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys later.